Hello and welcome. Today I have with me Sebastian Affi the newest addition to ITB's roster. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for having me. Obviously, I kind of expected to get some interviews some sort of way with that roster move, but yeah, I'm glad to be here and to give some explanations to everyone.
Yeah, I mean we have to get the scoop, right? And yeah, after 3 years in BDS, it finally came the moment when you change the teams, and this is ITB this time. But how would you describe it? How would you describe your time in BDS?
Well, obviously, it was a great time. I got into esports thanks to BDS. So obviously, when I qualified for TMGL, I was pretty clueless about esports. No idea about that world. Basically, I was just like a casual gamer. Like I always liked to play video games, so never got really interested in esports apart from Trackmania. So the only things I knew were like Dignitas or Acer from back in the days, or like the orgs that were like Gamers Origin, things like this. But yeah, they didn't even know about like the big orgs in the world, like Asian orgs or like
Yeah,
G2,
yeah.
Liquid, all of that. I was clueless. So yeah, thanks to BDS, I went into this world. Thanks to Softy as well, because Softy got in contact with them. And yeah, those 3 years were really good. Obviously, I had my studies at the same time, so I was not like 100% professional player, but I definitely enjoyed those last few months as a full-time player with them, with the gaming house, with the staff. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm pretty happy, and I guess with the talks that I had, the move was pretty logical
Mm-hmm.
to go to ITB.
What would you say was the most like valuable thing BDS has given offered you throughout those 3 years with them?
I guess the valuable thing is all the support that they gave me, especially since, I mean, when I joined, yeah, I mean, even when I left Trackmania, is still quote unquote a small game in the esports scene.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, BDS was obviously supportive. For all the travel costs that I had for all the events I wanted to attend. I had no problems with the payments, with the cash price, like all of this had no issue. I always received everything that I needed to receive. Like they're pretty generous overall when they need to pay things for me. So I'm very grateful for that. And yeah, I guess the point that made me leave is concerning the salaries,
Mm-hmm.
where they were not ready to put some bigger salaries that I expected,
Mm-hmm.
where ITB was ready, and this is why I made the move,
Mm-hmm.
basically.
Was it initially your idea to change teams, or did ITB reach out to you?
No, I was not expecting to switch teams in the middle of the year,
Mm-hmm.
of course. But yeah, in my head, I was thinking about resigning with BDS, but I had a much higher salary. I was
Mm-hmm.
expecting with my performance, like in stage one of Trackmania World Tour, with the ZRT last year, with all of this.
Especially with being full time, right?
Yeah, exactly. With be full time, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna resign, but I'm gonna negotiate to have a much higher salary. But when ITB reached out to me, I was like, okay, that's a good point to have for me. That's a good thing because then I have two orgs to negotiate with, and I can basically like I can basically say to them, I'm gonna take the biggest offer, and that kind of put some pressure, especially on BDS. Like
Mm-hmm.
ITB didn't have any pressure because they wanted me, so like they knew that they would have to maybe fight to get me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I hoped it would give some pressure to BDS to negotiate. So yeah, I waited for the end of my contract, and when the contract ended, I was like, okay, I'm gonna negotiate with both, and that's what I did.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious though because in like bigger esports, like I'm my source is from like League of Legends, right? I started there, and I had all those Twitter feeds. Like every time someone were ready to change a team, or their contract was near the end, there always was that tweet that I was allowed to
To seek other
explore
options,
my
yeah.
options and something like that. And I was curious, like, how did IDB even know that you were the option? Because I don't think you tweeted something like that. I know that contract was near the end, and probably ITB knew that. But at some point, there, because well, if there's no like explicit approval of that is kind of considered poaching, which is well, forbidden. I think so. So how did that happen?
Yeah. Uh, I mean, when Forever messaged me,
Mm-hmm.
he was just wondering what were my plans for the
Mm-hmm.
future. So I guess taking some informations, and I was like, yeah, my contract ends in the end of June. So obviously, I'm not going to be negotiating anything before
Yeah.
because I'm
Yeah.
under contract, and it's in the contract that I'm not allowed to seek options while still under contract. So so yeah, I just told him I'm gonna be free at the beginning of July, so we can talk from July on. And yeah, that's what we did. So
Mm-hmm.
he just told me that they had some interest in me, and I mean, he could send me as many messages as he wanted. I would just say, okay, I'm taking notes of that, but I'm not gonna say anything more.
Of course.
And I knew from the past 2 years already with BDS that they are not reaching out to me before the end of my contract. It's always me that had to tell them, okay, my contract is over. Can we like resign?
Mm-hmm.
Can we negotiate again? Have a talk. So I knew that they will not be contacting me before the end. So I mean, I took advantage of this. I
Mm-hmm.
just waited for the end, and when 1st of July arrived, I messaged Forever. I was like, okay, I'm ready. We can have a call. We can talk. And I also messaged my manager at BDS and like basically told the same to have a
Mm-hmm.
talk with him.
So everything squeaky clean, nothing shady about it. That's great. Um, and how transparent were you with your teammate about it, Aurel? I mean, he's now like alone in BDS. They're probably looking for a replacement. Already have one, but we just don't know it. How transparent were you with him?
So I messaged him. I don't remember when. Um, but yeah, I told him as soon as possible that. Yeah, I think I told him when I signed the contract with ITB.
Mm-hmm.
I told him instantly. So I mean, I wanted him to know what's going on. I don't want him to discover that I'm joining ITB and leaving BDS when the
Mm-hmm.
announcements are made
Yeah,
on
of
Twitter.
course.
So I told him instantly that I'm leaving. You can already like you can already seek for a new teammate. All the things that I discussed with my manager, he's aware of that. So the reasons why I'm leaving, and so on. So yeah, he's aware of everything. Since Aurel is also a part-time job, he has a part-time job and part-time Trackmania. Yeah, he deserves to know the truth and to know what's going on so that he can take the best decisions as well for his future.
All right, that's great. And just a question, a little bit of callback because I'm curious. Like, were there any other teams in the negotiations with you, or was it just ITB that reached out?
Was just ITV that reached out.
Okay.
And this is also why I didn't put any tweets like I'm a free agent,
Mm-hmm.
because I was already pretty sure that there wasn't any other team that would be ready to have a new player for World Cup, I
Mm-hmm.
think. Maybe I'm wrong, but in my opinion there was only ITB that had a free slot, and yeah, I'm pretty sure none of the other teams were ready to switch a player before World Cup, so I didn't do any public statements.
Yeah, that makes sense. Um, when I look at this roster move, I see you moving from BDS, that is very renowned, very big, have teams in like the biggest leagues in the world, like LEC, like Rocket League, I think European League, like Rainbow Six. Uh, very big titles, very big esports, definitely much bigger than Trackmania, and they have many teams. I think I looked it up. They have like 9 teams, or like eight, including Trackmania. So I just feel like there was not probably there is not the same amount of attention put into Trackmania as it could have been in ITB, that has only, I think, CS and sim racing, and I think Dota 2, uh, except from Trackmania. So with this switch of environments that is probably more focused on Trackmania itself, I was curious, like, what do you deem important in your relationship with the organization? Like, what do you expect from your, well, employer, so to say?
I mean, I expect the points that I mentioned earlier about the support, the financial support for all the travels and like all the cups that we have to attend. First of all, which is a thing that I can get in both orgs. So this is not the point that made me switch teams. Um, but I also expect some kind of recognition from the org, and even though I had some recognition, but maybe not the biggest one in BDS, because obviously the focus for them was more on the League of Legends
Hmm.
teams, um, or Rocket League because they were world
Yeah.
champion. All of this. Um, yeah, I guess going to a bit of a smaller org, even though ITB is just growing bigger and bigger in the last month or last year. Yeah, you can maybe get more recognition because the org is smaller, and yeah, all the results matter for them,
Yeah.
in all of the games. So yeah, I guess maybe I didn't say it out loud, or I never really thought about it, but
Hmm.
now that I switched, yeah, I expected maybe more recognition from BDS, something that I didn't really have, and this is something that I'm maybe looking for in ITB,
Hmm.
and I'm pretty confident that I will be getting, because yeah, I saw that they are very implicated in the game. So that's something that I'm definitely looking forward to.
Yeah. A new team means a new partner, and it is Mime. But to be honest, I don't really see a connection between you and Mime yet on the personal level. I just never took you guys as close friends or something like that. To be honest, I kind of see more of a connection between you and Forever, because he has some ties with Switzerland, something like that. He lived there for a while. But
Yeah,
he played, I think, for a Swiss team in Trackmania country championship, something like that. But
maybe.
how do you view your relationship with Mimes, like specifically, and do you think you guys will have good synergy on the track?
Yeah, I mean, we've known each other for quite some years now. So yeah, I remember back in TMNF. So Mime was mime.cut, and I was
Hmm.
like TC Affi in the server. So yeah, we know each other for like, I don't know, 7 years
Oh,
maybe.
that's a
Like
lot.
we know our nicknames for 7 years. Obviously, we've never been on like voice chats
Hmm.
together because yeah, we were not in the same communities, sort of thing. Like not the same teams and so on. But yeah, we've known each other. We saw each other at World Cup, obviously, last year. We had a good feeling together. Obviously, yeah, Mime is a bit of a shy guy. I'm also a bit of a shy guy. So
Hmm.
we have a few talks, but not the biggest talks, obviously. But I'm sure we will get along together well. We are already collaborating very well together for the upcoming World Cup. So I'm not worrying, I'm not worrying at all about it. I guess we just get to know each other more and more during the practice, prac matches, things like that.
Hmm.
And yeah, I think it's gonna work out as good as if it was like a friend like I had with Aurel,
Hmm.
or that I could have with Gwen and something. So yeah, it's gonna be fine.
Hmm. What do you think is the most important when you start working with a new duo partner? I mean, I guess it is a little new to you too, but how do you think it should look like for this partnership to start on a high note?
I guess communication is going to be important. Let it be for either for the training part or the matches. Um, I mean, we are already doing good communication with messages. Like we are organizing our training already,
Hmm.
like to do the mapping on the maps and stuff like it. And yeah, most importantly, it's going to be important for for the matches to know what we expect from the other one.
Hmm.
Do I need to call everything? Should we give like minimal informations? But that's something we learned with Aurel as well, because the format was
Yeah.
new and we had to learn that, yeah, sometimes at the beginning of the season in stage one, we were saying like, oh, it's a close round. And after that, we were thinking like, how is this useful?
Hmm.
Like, I don't care if it's a close round. I'm just driving my round,
Yeah.
It's not the most important information. Better say nothing that it's a close one, because it's yeah, you're losing a bit of focus when you say it out
Yeah.
loud. Like it's a close round, you're driving and talking at the same time. So less talking and more like critical informations, and that is something that we will discuss, I guess, with Mime and probably with Forever as well. That yeah, what we need to say when, and yeah, I guess we will get along pretty well with this as well.
This is the first official roster move of Trackmania World Tour, and I just wonder if it's something that we will see more in the near future. I mean, Trackmania is a community that is just small enough that most teams are just duos of friends, like competing with each other.
Yep.
Do you think we can expect Trackmania to move into that state of cutthroat roster changes, orgs being more involved in their team's success, stuff like that?
Well, I hope that it's gonna go this way. As Virtual would say, I'm the pioneer of this. So yeah, I'm the first one to do it, you know. So
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm sort of leading the way. So because yeah, that's right. Like I picked Aurel in BDS obviously because I knew his strength and that we would be a good fit, but he's also a good friend. So that's
Yeah.
why Gwen and Bings were two good friends. Brennan Otak, Carl and Pack, and Kappa Twin. I can pretty much give every team like this. So yeah, I hope it's gonna be that we are gonna have more roster changes in the future because it can only be good for the competitive ecosystem, you know, because like more moves makes more like more of a market between players. That if you have several players available for a team, well, the team can or rather the players can play with it. Like yeah, I would ask less than him, so if you take me it's going to cost less. Or the other way, like if several teams want one player, then the player can say yeah, the team is offering more, so I'm going to go there.
Yeah.
And yeah, we need some kind of market to be going on, and as long as all the duos are staying with friends and that it's not moving, then nothing is going to evolve. And yeah, that's what you need to do. That's what I did to evolve myself. I switched teams. I'm not taking any risks in my opinion, but I switched teams to evolve, and I hope other players will. I hope do the same to, yeah, hopefully bring the Trackmania esports a bit higher for the like the comfort for every player.
So for the growth of the esports scene of
Yep.
Trackmania, we should kind of prioritize the competitive drive, the growth itself over like friendships and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's right. Either teaming up with another person because you think they are stronger and you have more chances of winning, either be to go to a team that wants you more than the actual team that you have now. I did the second option is the option that I did now, I would say. ITB wanted me more than BDS, so I went to them. But I guess yeah, I think with Mime we have great chances of doing really high results because we have both a good play style. And if we both play great at the same time, it can hurt a lot, in my opinion, for the other teams. So yeah, I guess I don't want to say it's an upgrade compared to Aurel because we'll have to see. We haven't played together yet. But if we have the potential to do great things, that's the thing that I can say.
Yeah, that was my last question for the closer. I wanted to ask you, like, what do you think is the potential of this duo? Because really, your ceiling and Mime ceiling are so extremely high that it's really tough to say what can be done. I mean, Mime almost went for a world championship last year, and now you guys are in a duo together. You, oh my god, I forgot. Did BDS win stage one? Did you guys win, or was it?
No, we got second. We got second.
But that was close. Okay, never. That's why I thought that it might not be right. But yeah, like you guys were also looking great in stage one. It's not like if you lost, you didn't look great. You guys looked great, and you especially. And I just see that your guys' ceiling is very high. So I just wanted to ask, like, what do you think is the potential? Is world championship in reach, or do we have to learn more? Do you have to learn more about each other to kind of know that?
I think world championship is in reach. If we are both on a good day, we can. I guess you can win anything. And I hope we will have the opportunity to do prac matches before. Something that I always looked. I always like underestimated the importance of prac matches, but like I'm pretty aware this time that it's going to be important to do prac matches against other teams. Let it be TMGL teams or World Championship wildcard teams to play the match like it was an official one and to learn about the calls that we need to do and how we need to play like with each other. So yeah, a lot of preparation ahead, and I would say the goal is to get that world championship title for sure, and that's the goal of everyone, I guess.
All right. Thank you very much for the interview. If you have any short message for your fans, please go ahead.
I mean, I'm gonna say first of all, thanks to all the fans that followed me in BDS and that will either continue or not to follow me with ITB. And yeah, I would say hi to the new fans, like the ITB fans that I guess are going to be rooting for me now. Thanks in advance for the support that you will give us for either like Ascension that is coming as an individual performance or for the World Cup as a team. And looking forward to get the feedback on the social medias.
And to all the viewers, you can find all the social medias of Affi in the description. Thank you very much for watching. And if you enjoyed, I invite you to leave a like and subscribe for more interviews in the future. Thank you very much.